is your authenticated copy of your passport application along with government. And you have to remember, these people are doing a job. They went to school. They believe they're doing something right in their mind from their world perception. That's what they think. So if you come at them with hostilities, you're going to be met back with hostilities. Even if you have that thought in your mind, it can help. It could possibly get you rejected. Yes, some places are tougher than others, but remember, you are the creator of all things you are experiencing, and take responsibility for that. All right. I know on the screen you guys see my Department of State authenticated passport application. Now,
Akeem, I just want to interrupt real quick. We see a big old business meeting.
All right, that's why you have that there. All right. Where was I? All right. This process, I would like for everyone, a few of you, I know you already done my passport process. I don't know if everybody's done it, but this is to be done after you do the passport process, if you can. Some of you guys got issues with the IRS, got issues with child support that will not allow you to get a passport until that is rectified. So one of the documents you're going to be submitting is your authenticated copy of your passport application, along with the other stuff I'm going to show you. So that's what I'm adding to it. Plus, I changed the language in some of the documents, and I'm also adding years ago we talked about the injunction. So that has been changed. It's kind of, you can still look at it like an injunction, but that is going to be an option you can include with submitting your paperwork. All right. Someone said they're waiting for 2 months for the authentication. Yes, authentication takes a while. Sometimes they call you, and if you don't answer, they'll send you a letter. But it took me 3-4 months to get mine back. And COVID has not been helping that situation out at all. All right, so let's go to, close the screen out. Let's go here. I'm going to share the screen in a minute. As soon as all right. Every state, well, I won't say every. Yes, Michael, you have to request your authentication. All right, let's go over here, share the screen. All right, this is an article that came out in February 6th of 2018.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the article. And on this article, it explains how in North Carolina, they passed. You are not getting what you desire, you're not happy with things going on in your life, then there's a bad tree somewhere in your midst. And the tree is in your head. There's bad information in there. You're identifying with bad things. You're identifying with things that are giving you unpleasant experiences. So the first tree you need to check and maybe cut down is that negative tree that you have allowed to sprout in your brain or in your mind. A lot of us want to believe that our mind is inside of this organic thing, right? That's where our mind is. But what if I told you your mind is not there at all? That brain is just a processor. It's either true or false. It takes information and okay, this is what we need to do. It's basically organic mechanic. Your mind is an energy field that surrounds you about 6 inches in front of you. It's the shield of energy that's why you can come close to people and you start picking up vibes, because you're picking up that energy. That's why when you can take your hand and put it here and you can kind of feel it, not just heat, but you can feel some type of energy surge. Like, see, I can feel that energy surge. That's your, what you call, spiritual radar. See, we so identifying with what we can see and think that's it. What you see is not it. What you see is the end result of your mind. That's the end part. That's the end game, okay? What you're seeing is the result of the manifestation of your consciousness. So if you can disconnect from what what you can see and just concentrate on what you can't see. And that's how manifestation happens. That's how you bring about those things that you desire. Peace, peace. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. 2 days left to the month, and we will be in March 1st. March. The real New Year's coming up. Man, it's already 2 months down. 2 months is down to the new year. It's done. Got 10 left. 10 left. Okay. How have you been doing so far? Getting it done? Those goals, those aspirations, those things you say you want to do, those things you promised yourself that you would get done. Oh, as for me, I mostly be getting it done. As always, I can always improve. So let's see who's out there. See the chat. Road Warriors out there. You didn't get in trouble the other day, Road Warrior, did you? Establish Your Ministry is out there. I've been mentally running all for the last 2 days. I've been on my computer, getting the trucking company moving. Things are going well with that. Overall, things are great. Yes, are there challenges? Yes, I'm not gonna front. There's always some challenges, especially in the trucking business. Always something that's popping up that needs to be taken care of. So that's just the way it is when you're trying to level up and do better. Every time, when you're trying to really get it done, there's always something that's trying to distract you, and you just have to maintain and be committed to yourself. That you're gonna just, okay, this is just a distraction. I'm gonna keep it moving. So today, I wanted to make you guys aware of it. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on the topic, but it's been something that's been going on for a long time, where you can just be traveling innocently, and the police can stop you and just take your money. Don't take you to jail. They take your money. I did a show on this on Blog Talks a long time ago about this activity. I personally believe it's a way for them to steal. They created laws. Oh, you carry a large amounts of money, we could take it. And what they do is they charge the money with the crime. It's being suspected of being drug money, but not you. Isn't that crazy? And yet we believe we live in a country where we think we're free. You're not free. When they give people a license to go through your bags and then intimidate you into giving up your money. I was watching one video with the guy that had a guy in the office. He had $100,000. Now that's a lot of money to be carrying around cash, right? So the officer posed this scenario. Hey, you can sign off on this, and we keep the money. We're gonna keep this 100,000. Or if you don't let us take this money, we're gonna just stick the DEA on you, and they're gonna investigate you. And we'll leave you alone. You just let us have the 100,000. This is what this was actually posed to somebody that they stopped at an airport. Yeah, we'll take this money, sign over, and they needed him to sign. Remember what I tell you about signatures and when they present you with stuff. If they're presenting you with something to get you as a consent, then what they're asking you is illegal. It's against the Constitution. If they need you to give them the authority to steal from you, because that's what it is. It's extortion. It's bullying. Now, some might say, "Whoa, $100,000, that's a little sketchy." Yeah, to me, it is a little sketchy. Why are you carrying $100,000, cash? But you can't judge people. So, but still, we live in a country where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So, regardless if it's illegal activity or not, the Constitution says you must have a warrant, probable cause. If I'm just walking through the airport, having a lot of cash is not probable cause. Now, especially domestically, you can travel with a lot of cash. Now, if you're coming in from a foreign country with a lot of cash, then that can be an issue. I don't know exactly what that amount is, but they'll lie. Oh, you can't be carrying around a lot of cash. Like, where they come up to? I can't carry out something that's legally. I can have money, but I can't have certain amount. This is what I'm talking about. These totalitarian Hitler, these people who want to control people's lives and tell them how much money they can carry. They come up with all of these rules. See, this is how you know you're dealing with a situation where the government knows they're not doing people right, because they don't want them to have a lot of money, because the money can finance opposition. See, you're a slave. You're supposed to just have a little bit of money. You ain't supposed to have so much. You're supposed to be poor. You're one of them working class people. What you doing with 100,000 carrying it around? No, you need to put it in our federal institution so we can monitor it, see where it's going, where it's coming. But I'm gonna share this video. Give me a second. All right, there it is. This is the video. Let's make the screen bigger so you can see it. I want y'all to see this.
The DEA and other drug agents are seizing millions of dollars from departing passengers at Hartsfield-Jackson, mostly from flights to LA, even though it's completely legal to travel domestically with any amount of cash. We found dozens of cases in Atlanta's federal court, USA v. some amount of currency. That's right, in most cases, they don't arrest the passenger. They arrest their money, even when no drugs are found. The probable cause statements show that the cash is administratively forfeited as drug money if the passenger can't prove on the spot that their money is innocent.
We'll go back to that in a second. So if you can't prove where you got the money on the spot, oh, we're gonna take it. We're gonna say it's because of some drugs. We're keeping it. This is a situation where they make innocent people criminals or treat them as criminals. There's a lot of reasons why you would carry cash. I've been in the airport and had lots of money or cash, especially after doing a seminar, and people came into the seminar and paid cash. So there's so many, reasons why you would have cash. So they're figuring out a way. They take your money, don't take you to jail. What kind of nonsense is that? And then what do they do with the money? Then also they have monitored this, and they say 90% of these cases don't end up in any type of criminal activity. So you 90% ends up in nothing. So you mean 90% of the people you're stopping is just innocent people you're harassing with this. 90%. That's a very high failure rate. This is supposed to be to stop crime, and you're only getting 10% out of this, out of all the. That means either these guys are terrible at their job, or it's just a money grab. Millions of dollars. This is at Atlanta's airport. They're doing this stuff. This is one of the many airports they're doing it at. They're hiring. See, let me tell y'all something. This is how they pay people. This is how they pay the people to keep their jobs. That's why I say they don't want to get rid of criminal activity because they're in the airport looking for. Think about it. If you was a criminal, real criminals, they're not traveling in the airports like that. They're gonna get in the car, go somewhere, something less conspicuous. Wait, think about it. I'm gonna go through this, all of these security gates, all of the stuff, and I'm gonna walk in there knowing if I was a person who had a criminal mind, the last place I would go, and I know this money is for criminal activity, I would not go through an airport with it. I would not do that. I would go the way where I can be somewhere where I don't have any law enforcement around me. So that's why they have such a high failure rate. That's why 90% of the people are innocent. And the other 10% are the dummies that walk into the jaws of the police officers knowing they got criminal activity going on. Those are the idiots. But the smart ones, I'm not going on the plane. You think they don't know that that's what the police doing? So that tells me something, that law enforcement is not really interested in locking anybody up for crime. They're interested in taking money, paying the salaries, buying new equipment, because that's what they do with it. And all of this is unconstitutional. And I tell you, the only reason why this stuff is allowed to go on, because the people let it go on. We let it happen to. We let this stuff happen. Let's continue. What can I do about it, Akeem? Don't consent to those searches. Damn.
Sign a consent form saying that you're allowing us to search them. Okay. Or I'm going to detain them, run my dog on it, and get a search. Feel free to search the bags.
See what they did? See what they did? Oh, you allow us to do it. You sign a consent. When they asking, let me tell you, if they're asking you for consent, then they can't just do it. Then they're going to get a dog. The dog's going to sniff, and they're going to say, oh, yeah, he signaled something. So they're going to make your life even harder. So why make it easy for them? Don't give it to them. Let them get their dog. Let them have the dog. Go get your dog, because now you have a record. You didn't consent. Then they said the dog alerted. How would you know? You don't know how that dog alerts. They can say anything. And if you know you're innocent, you took going through my bags. I'm just trying to get home or wherever I'm going, maybe go on vacation. You holding me up. And they're doing this right before you get on the plane. That's what they're doing. So years ago when I did this story, this was happening on Amtrak. They would get on and profile, and I remember one kid was on. He had thousands of dollars on him because he had just graduated and he had received a lot of cash money as gifts, and he was moving to California to start a new life. And they took all of his money and let him go. So he went to California empty-handed. Imagine that. You got, and these people with these jobs don't feel any remorse about relieving you of your cash. It's crooked. It's nothing constitutional about it. But yet, the reason why it goes on is because we allow them to do it. Just like this guy. He just, go. He just wanted them to go in because he know he was innocent. Go ahead. No, don't do that. Any good lawyer would tell you not to do that. Because you relieve yourself of your right to sue them when you sign off consent. Because they'll say, well, you consented. It's like after you get screwed, you don't say you agreed to it. Oh, we know we screwed you, but you signed off on us to screw you. You said it was okay for us to screw you over. There you go. Let's finish.
Are you willing to sign a consent?
Yes, I will sign a consent form. Feel free to search my bags.
In this 2015 Department of Justice report, the Office of Inspector General told the DEA it should stop using a troubling technique, causing passengers to believe a voluntary search is a mandatory TSA secondary inspection. 8 years later, we found DEA agents at Atlanta's airport using similar methods.
See? So they make it sound like it's mandatory. Well, if you don't, and that's what that was. They were bullying. You don't do this, we're going to do that. That is trash. That's what kind of human being treats people like that? What kind of you just because you have a badge, you handle people like that at the airport? Under the guise of we're trying to stop crime. But if you start trying to stop crime, why do you take the money and you don't take anybody else? Why do you have such a high failure rate? Out of 100%, only 10% of your stops yield any type of criminal activity. And wonder what that is.
He just approached me and he asked me for my ID. He didn't state who he was. He just asked me for ID. And I thought he was a Delta agent. He had airport credentials on. And so I gave it to him.
See, that's why you have to know your rights. This is why they don't teach y'all the Constitution in school. Because if you knew your rights, you wouldn't allow that. See, I'll say it again. This can't happen without our consent. This can't happen when they're trying to make these types of rules and policy. We need to be there to put up to stop that. Just walking up to people randomly asking questions. I'm like, who are you? I don't care what that thing says. And he said he thought he was a Delta agent. Well, that guy wasn't. He didn't have a Delta uniform. A Delta agent would have a Delta uniform on. You see? But they probably caught him off guard. He didn't know. You know, he just wanted to get home. I'll just cooperate. And then, well, guess what? They took his money. I'm not sure the amount. Let's see. They took his money.
Immediately, I thought this was how I was going to get on the plane or something. I don't know.
The drug agents may be in plain clothes, but they're not undercover. This is Sergeant David Fikes. He and his canine Bane are still all over the Brookhaven Police Facebook page. Since Fikes was assigned to the DEA task force at the airport last year, records show he's been involved in seizing more than $1 million in cash. His police department has received a 9% cut of that money, more than $100,000, even though Brookhaven PD is nowhere near the airport.
If we have the ability to walk up to, say, Officer Fikes or to any
See that? How is they're allowed, that's a federal jurisdiction, but they're coming from local jurisdictions into the airport harassing people. How is this not a money grab? Why aren't they doing that in the streets? Why? Because it's a higher probability you're gonna find people, regular folks with cash in this condensed place is easier. It's called low-hanging fruit. So that's why they're there. Over $1 million he sees, and he's proud of that. And the department got $100,000 of that, 9% of that. And they pat him on the back. Yeah, good. You just robbed people. See, they got all kind of robberies going on in this country. Not only do you have to worry about the people who call themselves criminals or do criminal, you got to worry about law enforcement doing it now. You got to worry about them. And that's more likely who's going to try to rob you. You just traveling and they hustling you. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? I just thought I'd show y'all that so y'all can be watchful for when y'all go to the airports and these places, and you might have some cash. You know, I'm teaching y'all how to be prosperous, and y'all might be rolling in the dough. Just be careful. Xavier said he's a real gangster. Yeah, Jason. It's like when I watch these videos, I've watched a few of these. It triggers me. Like that's just low all the way around. But what's also, you could tell people really don't understand what they need to do. They get scared. This is law enforcement. Then stop. Don't get scared. Just tell them no. They're giving you a hard time anyway. They're gonna hold you up. So hey, now let the games begin. You just hold me up now. I mean, sit back and kick your feet up. No, you're not searching anything. I'm not giving you any consent to do anything. Anything you're gonna do, you're gonna have to do it by force. Never have a conversation with these people because they're not your friends. They're not looking to get to know you as a friend. They're looking for trouble. And the first thing I say is, I don't have anything to say. See, even when they pull them over, can I do that? I would just been staring at them, dumbfounded, like, okay. I asked you a question. I don't have to answer it. I'm grown. I ain't got to answer no questions. We're not in a court where I'm under oath or anything like that, under subpoena to answer any questions or any warrants. Who are you? You stopping me for what? And then they'll get mad, and then they'll think they want to hold you up. Hey, the longer you hold me up, the higher that amount is going to be that I'm going to sue that department for. And they got to pay lawyers to do that. That costs money. See, most of those cases, they'll end up settling. See, it's hard to settle with you when you consent. Because the one thing they violated was your constitutional protection. The Constitution is very clear about you have a right to privacy. You have a right to be secure in your person, in your papers, in your home, just walking. You have a right. That is a right. They cannot steal that from you. And how they try to steal it from you is by intimidating you into signing paperwork to say it's okay for you to rob me. That's what's happening. That is robbery. That's stealing. Because you're taking money, you're not locking anybody up, you're not charging anybody with a crime, but you're going to take the money? How does that make sense? But yet we say this is land of the home of the brave and the free, whatever that's called. No, this has become the home of the thugs. That's the thugs. Thug behavior. That's what that is. You know, anybody that can sit there, and you got to be a hater to do something like that. Even I couldn't even put on a uniform and feel comfortable doing that to people. Somebody said, I seen that special and I was pissed. I'm a gambler and I travel with a lot of cash, especially going to Vegas. Yeah. Like the one interview, I was trying to find the one where they had the guy and they said the guy put uh asked them, hey, we could take this 100 grand. We'll do this. You know, we ain't nothing. You don't have to worry about the DA bothering you. We're just going to keep this. You know, I'm just going to keep that. And he said it all with such conviction. Man, I got a lot to say about that, man. Listen, y'all gotta, the reason why things is this bad, that we have situations like this going on, is because we are so miseducated on what our rights are. We're miseducated. We think we allow this, oh, well, they're the police, they get to do that. And then on top of that, the people that's putting on the uniform doing this type of behavior, they feel justified in impoverishing their fellow man. But like anything, what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. You treat people wrong, you're going to get treated wrong. That's why in that space, law enforcement have a high rate of divorce. They can't maintain families because the type of job they got. Yeah, well, I hope Javier said he never consents. That's right. Don't consent to that mess. Yeah. Never consent. Never give up your rights ever. Do not. Because that's what they want. That's why they present. Yeah, let's sign this. Sign this. Yeah. Man, please. I'm not a sucker. So how do you go to jail for resistance without how do you go to jail for resisting without violence? They just make stuff up, bro. Resisting arrest is one of those things. You can't just have resisting arrest without a companion crime to go with it. Meaning they just can't have that can't be the only crime. Resisting arrest. Resisting arrest for what? And a lot they do that. Oh, you're resisting arrest. That's what I'm gonna charge you with. No other crime. That's they do it, but that's doesn't sustain. That won't hold. You have a lawsuit right there. You're charging me with resisting arrest for what? What crime did I commit? This shows you. Do y'all understand why? Okay. To practice law, you have to go to school, many years of school in order to practice in a courtroom, right? But to be a cop, to charge someone, to bring them into a court of law where lawyers have to fight it out in the case, all you need is a high school diploma in most cases. You hardly need any education. Do y'all know why that is? Do y'all know why that is? Somebody take a wild guess why your education, the people enforcing laws that could potentially put you behind jail for a long time or cost you a lot of money, have the least amount of education in that space of law enforcement, in all of that, in that whole realm. Why do you think that the people who got the power to shoot you, put handcuffs on you, take you to jail, have the least amount of education? And let me add this: they don't even hardly know the Constitution. They do it. They got like what you call a Cliff Note version of the Constitution. For those of you who don't know what Cliff Notes is, it's a dumbed down or summarized version of Constitution. This would gives them basic information that they're going to be tested on, but no real detailed information about what the Constitution actually says. And if you have a conversation with an officer about the Constitution, he'll argue, oh, that's not true. That's not true. To you, even if you pull it out and read it to him, he won't understand it because he don't have the education to understand that legalese. Because he's been programmed a certain way to enforce the law. Why do y'all think that the people with the least amount of education get to lock you up and charge you with a crime? Oh, DJ B. Thunder said they are easy to train and easier to control. That's true. Somebody said the less they know, the more ignorant they are, the easier it is to violate your rights. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. In the game of chess, you have pawns, and you get to sacrifice them for a greater good, for a greater win. Think about it. Everybody that gets sent through that system, even if they're innocent, has to pay some form of money to fight for the innocent. They get money for that. So the cost of being sued is so minimum compared to the people that just comply and give up money. It's a cost analysis. My losses against my wins. So I put the most least educated person on the front line, let him violate people's rights. Yeah, he gets sued, we'll settle. But yet, Just the other day in the court, I hustled about 100 people who came to the court and just paid their fines and kept it moving. They do that every day. So a lawsuit here, a lawsuit there, yeah, we pay that out. Insurance, we got insurance. It's the cost of doing business. Lawsuits is part of the cost of doing business. See, they got some big brains up there that figure all of this stuff out. See, the ones that don't have the wherewithal, who's just coming in because they are one of the people who just want to be the working class and have a job, they don't know that they're being used to bring money into the system. I just showed you where they are actually coming out of local jurisdictions nowhere near the airport, and they're in the airport stopping people. A federal jurisdiction. The sheriff's department is in the federal airport. And that's what's, instead of in their local jurisdiction doing, they're paying people to go take money to do what? To bring revenue in. They're the pawns. Because that type of behavior is going to get them sued. And guess what? Either they win by trial by jury, or they lose. They still lose because they're going to settle. But they done collected millions of dollars. And the average lawsuit takes years. If you do a class action lawsuit, that thing is going to go on for at least 5 to 10 years before you see a dime. But in the meantime, they're still running their gravy train. So the reason why they use people with less education, like some people said, they're easy to control, they don't know anything, they believe they're doing the right thing. Ooh-wee. That was hidden. I'm drinking. Uh-oh. A word is going to come. They are programmed to believe that they're doing the right thing, so they're being used and don't even know it. Let's see if law enforcement even see this video. Oh, what are you talking about? Ah, man, y'all being played. This country ain't trying to stop crime. There's too much money in it. If they was able to stop crime, all of the stuff that's going on, so many people would be without a job. This country would stop functioning without criminal activity. From the lowest to the highest level. Our economy would crash without criminal activity. That's why it's called the criminal justice system. And like I said before, the chess, you always got pawns. Even in the criminal game, there's pawns. They go after the lowest hanging fruit, the penny thugs on the corner, and lock them up and give them an extensive amount of time. And then get in front of a camera. We have made 500 and something arrests. What type of arrests? Low level thieves, low level drug dealers. Because I can tell you right now, those ain't the ones manufacturing and putting that stuff on a plane and bringing it into the country. Because if you really want to stop it, you stop it at the source. Not at the end, at the tip of the branch. That's not where you stop it. If you want to stop an apple tree from growing, you cut the root off. If you want to stop getting fruit off that tree, you need to cut the root. No, we're going to go, let's grab that apple there. And then another apple grows. That's the same thing in the criminal. They just go get the little apples and pick them. And then they give them money. I did this and I did this. And the low level law enforcement people who are risking their lives every day, thinking they're making a difference, and they never will. Because as long as you go after just the tip, the apple, next week another apple will be there to pick. But why? That's the way that's the way they want it to be. Because then they have an excuse to exist. See, I like it when Dick Gregory said, he said, once you see what things really are, what it really is, you never could put the glasses back on and unsee it. But the other part of that is you can't force anybody else to see it. It's a hell of a world when you can just see things for what they really are. And it's not as stressful as it was before, bothersome as it was before. When you look around you and all the people in your space, they just living like, oh, in la la land. Don't even, and when you bring something like that up, oh, what are you talking about? Ooh, you sound nuts. What are you even thinking about that for? What's the purpose of having those thoughts? I've had people say that to me when I was talking about how, just straw man and how things work. Well, so what? So what? If you only knew. But you can't make everybody see it. See, now, just imagine if you was trained to be a lawyer and you was a law enforcement person. You decided to go into that part of law enforcement when you actually went to lock up. Most likely you wouldn't do most of the stuff you do because you are trained on the Constitution and how it works. See, they put those people, those people go into the courtrooms. So you see how it feeds the system? They get the people who don't know the Constitution so that they can hire somebody supposedly to protect your rights. It's just a factory. It's a system. It's a business on all levels. You got your political business. You got your criminal business. You have your religious business, educational business. All of it's a system and a business. And let me take a sip before I say what I'm about to say. Ooh. And all of them are criminal. They're criminal on a spiritual level, and they're criminal on the physical level. On the spiritual level, it's criminal because they don't, especially on the religious forefront, they don't teach you who you are. They don't tell you who you are. They tell you who they want you to be. They tell you how to be the way they want you to be so that you can be under the spell and illusion that they want you to be. They don't tell you that you are the divine manifestation of God. Everything about you is special and divine. See, because if you knew that, criminal activity, any criminal behavior, any unethical behavior would cease immediately if once people wake up and realize who they really are. They be like, wait a minute, I am this, I am divine. Because once you know who your divinity is, all the other dysfunctional thinking and behaviors just wash away. It goes away because now you know who you are. You're whole. I am special. I am divinity. I don't need anything. Everything is here for me to have. All I got to do is walk to it and get it. All I got to do is know I have it. So I don't have to do any criminal activity to get anything. I don't have to stoop to low levels behavior to go get what I want because I know I come from a divine royal place that everything is prepared for me. It goes back to a teaching I've done over and over again. The prodigal son. We are all, in essence, the prodigal son and daughter of God because we have all lost our minds and walked away from our inheritance seeking what man had in store. The low vibrational things, the material things. Not realizing if I only know where I came from and where all my riches are stored, I have an endless supply of my needs met. I won't have that problem. We won't have people taking jobs like that or doing jobs like that and just taking people of their money and feeling okay with that. And I believe on some level, even that officer and the other officers that do it, they don't feel great about themselves at the end of the day, even though they do it. But at some time, like Dick Gregory says it all, that universal God comes a knocking. That karma comes. You're gonna have to pay for that. What you take from people, you will have to repay it. What you do to people, you will repay. How you treat people, the things you do, what you think you're doing in darkness is never in darkness. It's always in light. Because there's always that spiritual realm that is looking and watching and taking note. Okay. And they don't have emotions. It's like, okay, well, there's your deed that gets repaid. Good or bad. You will reap what you sow. It says, God is not to be mocked. You reap what you sow. So if you know that, if you believe that, then do good things and watch how you reap those good things tenfold. You do things that are not so great, you're gonna reap that tenfold. And I'll add this to the mix after I take this sip. Don't get in the way of people's karma. Don't get in the way of people's reaping season. Sometimes you got to stand back and watch. And like, woe for them. Don't touch that because you're gonna receive. That's why it says, get out of my people before you receive. Nah, don't touch it. I know we love to help and, step in. Mm-mm. Don't do it. And the day is coming with all of these type of things they're doing to people and misleading and blind. The day is coming. It's a matter of time before things have to change. What goes up must come down, and what goes down will come up. So just watch. It's going to be interesting. I think 2024 is going to be an interesting year to see play out. We have an election coming up. I expect some fireworks from that. I mean, when have you ever seen them take a ex-president and charge him with so many crimes? And then he lost this lawsuit, which he's going to appeal. I think this is all theatrics, but when you see stuff like that going on, you know something bigger is at play. And over the last week now, they're about to talk about Wendy Williams. I mean, it's just every week this is what they do. They know groups of people are catered to certain things. They know we as people of color, we love our celebrities and we want to know what's going on with them. So they give us a new celebrity to gossip about every week. Other groups of people, they give them some other issues. So everybody's getting their fill of distractions. Their fill of distractions from every group is getting their distractions. So just like the celebrities over here, the comedians, that distraction, the other groups are getting their distraction too. And you have to ask yourself why. Why right now they want you to be so distracted? One reason I believe is, we're reaching, people are really looking for true answers, true spiritual answers. The level of people out there seeking spirituality, maybe just because I'm in that space and I see it a lot, is high. Even from the older people that's been going to these churches for years and they've seen no results, they want something different. And so with they see that, and we got to give them distraction. We got to pull them back in. Just like when COVID, when people got tired of their jobs, they got that, hey, wait a minute. Now they're getting the corporate people's trying to force people on the job. But you have to be on the watch, recognize. Recognize what's going on. There's a let me get my let's close this out. Give me a second. Let's see. Let's see which way I want to go. Let's see. I'll just pull it out of the Bible. I gotta go to the Bible. In a minute, I'm gonna show you a book I just got. I was just doing some studying. I study a lot. I get curious about something, I just start studying it. Years ago. Okay, let's see. I hope I'm finding the right one. Let's start with Luke 21, verses 7. They said to him, Teacher, when will this be, and what will be the sign that this is about to take place? And he said, Beware, you are not misled, not led astray, for not many will come in my name and say, I am he, and the time is near. Do not go after them. When you hear of wars and insurrections, do not be terrified, for these things must take place first, but the end will not follow immediately. Then he said to them, Nations will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there will be great earthquakes in various places, famines and plagues, and there will be dreadful portents and great signs from heaven. See, we got wars everywhere now. All kinds of distraction. But before this occurs, they will arrest you and prosecute you. They will hand you over to the synagogues and prisons. You will be brought before kings and governors on my name. This will give you an opportunity to testify. So make up your minds not to prepare your defense in advance. Y'all see that? It said, don't prepare in advance. The words will be given to you. See, as you can see, people who stand for truth on any platform, they ban them. Like, they just took a video I had with Dr. Daniels down when she was talking about hypertension. Everything she said was true, but they took the video, said it violated their code of conduct, whatever. So people say, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, it violated their code of conduct is not to disseminate truth. That's what it is. They want you knowing the truth, how to heal yourself. He said, so make up your minds not to prepare your defense in advance, for I will give you words and wisdom that none of your opponents will be able to withstand or contradict. Y'all see how powerful that is? See, some of y'all are ending up in court. Y'all got issues and y'all want to prepare and do it. Yeah, you need to know the rules, but at the same time, in all of my situations, I really didn't have to say a whole lot. And I never bothered myself in preparing on what I needed to say because I knew the power of God would speak through me when I needed to speak through me. And the power of God has shut my mouth up when I need to shut it up. When I lost that one time in court, it's because I was using a man's words, somebody's idea of what I need to say. I didn't trust in God, and I lost. But ever since I trusted in, I won. I've seen some strange things happen that I can't even figure out how. I can figure it out. I know how. Power of God did it. He said, I like to read that. I've read that before, but I never quite soaked that in. It says, so make up your mind. So you got to make your mind up. What side are you going to stand on? Make your mind up. not to prepare your defense in advance, for I will give you words and wisdom that none of your opponents will be able to withstand or contradict. See, another reason why a lot of people lose in these situations because they're not standing in truth. See, when I lost, I wasn't in truth. I was in somebody what I thought was the truth, and it wasn't the truth. You will be betrayed even by parents, brothers, by relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but not a hair of your head will perish. By your endurance, you will gain your souls. See, this is when you see situations this on a minute schedule, on a minute scale, where you see these people, oh, sign this over. And then this try to minimize their wrongdoing by getting you to consent to it. You got to stand your ground. Because God gave you the right to be free. There's no other authority over you. With that being said, what is it, 8:03? All right, so we got Level Up Thursdays coming, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I think it'll be our fourth show. Fourth show. Wow, time go by. So look for that. I don't remember exactly what the topic is going to be, but we'll know it on Thursday. I got a seminar coming up, March the 16th. That's coming. Where it's going to be, I will let you know by way of flyer. I'm going to prepare the flyers. That's a seminar coming up. If you're ready to travel, I think it's a good time to do a seminar right before the new year, the actual new year. All right, I'll let y'all know. I'll be bringing y'all some powerful information at the seminar. It will just be me. But anyway, I hope you have a good night. Continue to go forth and make your dreams happen. Stay busy, stay focused. Write it down so you don't forget. When you get the power of God moving through you in the morning, get up and work. Move towards it. Because I know whenever I don't do it, I always lose it. All right. With that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.